producer, director,
my vision, my ideology into motion picture.
Actor, screenplay writer. Are you an aspiring filmmaker looking to start a career in the movie industry? Do you want to see what happens behind the scenes when you're looking at those movies in your local cinema? Take 101 will take you on a journey of the filmmaking process from concept to reality, from idea to motion picture. Take 101 will bring you, the industry professionals, and take you through the A to Z of the filmmaking process.
Lucille Morgan on Take 101.
It's how you want to call something. I mean, yeah, technically as DOP and a cinematographer are the same thing, but a cinematographer has a broader sense of responsibility and has maybe more things to do than a DOP. A DOP is specifically about the image. A cinematographer might take on more jobs and more responsibility with regards to the filmmaking and the end process. Composition is everything, and it's all about, you know, it's all about that frame. What's happening in that frame? Is it telling the right story? The camera angle essentially is what is it you're trying to see and what is it you're trying to show. So what you need to do is understand what the end result is supposed to be about. So that can be a myriad of things, because it depends if you're talking about film, video, it just depends what it is you're trying to achieve. Okay, so for example, if I'm filming a music video, and I'm filming a dance sequence, the dance sequence will require completely different angles to a performance sequence. A performance sequence will require something like what we call a medium shot, or a close-up, or an ECU, which is an extreme close-up. And that will be a completely different look to a dance sequence. A dance sequence is going to be much wider because you need to show a lot more. Discussion between prime lenses and focus, you know, and zoom lenses, and basically the difference is a prime lens has a fixed focal length. So therefore, it's a very classic look. You cannot change the length or the size of the shot. It's fixed. Whereas with a zoom lens, you can change the size and the distance that you're filming, and so therefore the shot and the frame and the image changes. If you're just filming a wedding, sometimes it's easy to get a video camera that has everything automatically set for you, because there's so many different things to capture. The size of the venue, it's so many different settings. If you're shooting on a DSLR camera, which is a digital single reflex camera, it's better to use something that has everything set up already. Then all you have to do is point and shoot, and you're capturing everything, and you're keeping everyone happy by giving them a video at the end that shows everything, and you didn't have to change the lens 50 times and change your lighting settings 50 times. Change your ISO 50 times, which is your camera speed, and so on and so on and so on. You just press point and shoot, and you capture it. That's videography. Videography essentially is a lot of point and shoot, where you don't have to do a lot of setting changes and color changes and all the rest of it. You just film it.
Once again, the News.TV are back at London Fashion Week. We are here at Somerset House.
What we always say between filmmakers, one thing we always ask each other is, what did you shoot on? And what that means, and what that really means, what kind of effect did you go for? Because what you shot on will determine the effect you get at the end. So if you shot on a red, you're getting a movie. If you shoot on an Arri Alexa, you're getting a movie. If you shot on a Z5, it's a video. Again, on budget, budget, you want to be shooting on a red, and you want to get as much of a cinematic look as possible, but not because of cinematics, but because of detail. Because a documentary are more about information. Anything to do with information requires detail. And detail, when you shoot on a red, you're going to get the most detail you could ever want.
Cargo Pants 2010, what are you going to do?
Actually, can you get that phone, please?
Morning, Grace.
Why does he always have to do that?
Can we have a chat later?
Yeah, sure. What time?
Let's say 3. And don't be late.
Okay.
Oh, I hate him. A website where you can design your own clone. Oh, I'm going to do that! Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the clone. Operating instructions. Choose personality characteristics. Save onto USB stick.
Good.
Then simply plug key into your brand new you.
If you can afford a good DOP, you have to have them. Because if you look at their CV, they don't have CVs in the same way, they have showrooms.
Yeah.
But if you look at their reel and you look at their experience, you think, well, he's worked on that movie, but I watched that last week. He worked on that music video, oh my God, I love that song. You're just like, oh my God, this is the top guy, I have to get it. The atmosphere, the color, the lighting, did I feel it? Did I notice it? Did it do anything to add to the movie? Did it make the movie better to watch? Was I visually stimulated? Did I visually get into it? These are the things that the DOP has to be able to create, because that's not the director's job. The director is, let me tell the story. The director is just telling the story. Well, that would determine on what you were hiring me to do. See, it depends on your pitch. If you pitch to me, okay, I want to do a film short, I have X amount of money, it has to be this amount of time, I need it to be this type of film, it has to have this type of look. Essentially, as a cinematographer, I would DOP it myself, because that's what I've had to do when there's been budget issues and so on. I've done it before, but I tell you, it's funny because I've only done it, I think, twice. I say twice. Once I chose to do it, and I almost funded the project myself because I was that into the song. Again, it has to come back to the understanding that people have. The real infrastructure of filmmaking comes down to 2 things: funding and production. Yeah. So, and it's one and the same, because what a producer does for a film is they get the script, they think this is great, they want to get behind it, so they go and get the money, and then the film gets made, and then they choose the director as well a lot of the time.
Why don't you get a normal job for now, Suze?
I don't do normal jobs. I'm not normal.
Yeah, but you need the money, don't you? We all know you're not normal.
I keep having all these nightmares. Like crazy nightmares.
What about?
Scripts, bills. It's really strange, like it's always my father's voice in there.
So, if you go to a director, then you're going to him as a producer. And you say, here's my script. You're really going to that director as a producer now, because then you're saying to me as a director, can you get this done? Now you're talking to me as a producer, not as a director. Because now
So your roles switch.
No, I have
depending.
to think if I, but that's when cinematography becomes the umbrella, because you're talking about DOPing, you're talking about producing, and now you're also talking about directing. So you're telling the story, you're organizing how it's going to get paid for, and you're sorting out how it's going to look. So that's when you're basically doing everything under one umbrella. That's when you'll become a cinematographer, which is what I've done.
I'm going to make a move on Frankie.
What?
I'm finally going to tell him that I fancy him and that it's his lucky night.
Lee, you can't meet. We made a pact.
This is the thing, you have to love this thing. You cannot do it for money. It just doesn't work. You have to do it for love. And that's the only reason why I can still be doing it. And I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunities I've had, because I just do it for, I've only been driven by the love of it. That's been always been my main motivation. But obviously now I get paid. I've only had to do it for free for about a year. But I was prepared to do anything. You can. I mean, if the script is written well enough, with the basic premise that 1 page of script is 1 minute of screen time.
Yeah.
So if it's written properly, say I get a script that's 30 pages long, which is essentially 30 minutes of film screen time.
Yeah.
And it's structured properly, and it looks like it's got a proper first, second, and third act, a problem, a solution, and a resolution.
Yeah.
And it has everything, structured in a way where it feels like it's doable. Yeah, you can look at it and you can give a good estimate.
And
but then, essentially what people do though is they give you the schedule beforehand. See, what good filmmaking is when you have time. Good films, they take time. When you're making things properly, it takes time. You shoot it over a period of time. I've done things that should have taken weeks, that I've done them over days. And I've regretted it a little bit, because when I look back on the footage, I look back on the final edit, and I just think, if we just had another week. So if someone says to me, how long will it take? Can you get it done? This, and this. What do you think about that scene? What shots does it need? It's like, I need time to sit through it and live with it and really think about it. And then I would write a shooting script to coincide with the dialogue screenplay, with the dialogue script.
Yeah.
And you have a shooting script or a storyboard that basically translates the script into images. And if you're writing a shooting script, or if you're drawing a storyboard, which is what I do as well, you're basically planning the shots frame for frame before you do it, which is, if you have time. This is rare. The DOP has to work hand in hand, literally, with the director to create that vision. And if you have a good DOP-director relationship, it's amazing.
As you may already know, making a film's not rocket science. All it takes is courage and enthusiasm.